Hey Jay, slide that over for me. He said it was only 800 pounds, bud.
Oh yeah, see my max is 750, that's why.
Hey, so it's our first day up on our new job site here on top of the mountain. We got all the guys, we got some stakes. They were nice and quiet coming up the hill. You can imagine the back of the car all the way up the mountain. Anyways, we got the homeowner over here and we're gonna lay out the house and make sure the site is adequate. It's huge, but the house is also very spread out, like 100 foot by 100 foot or something. So they're checking out the plans and looking at the view, trying to figure out how to orient. It's a nice view.
Feel the ground shaking?
I do.
He's got that vibrating roller going there.
Whoa.
To slick it out for us.
All right, so here's the plans. These are preliminary, but it's kind of like two houses next to each other with a breezeway. It's a really cool design, very modern looking style. So we're excited to do this. And I think we're gonna do our own concrete formed walls on this job.
Yeah.
We've never done that. So this is gonna be a really exciting project for us to do some different things.
A line established that's going to be parallel to basically the main body of the house here, and it'd be nice, we might be able to use that line as, say, one of our main walls here or right here, but I'm not certain of that yet. I just need something I can align them to, and this is facing the direction that we want it to point, unless we find out that it can't point this direction because we need to tilt it to take advantage of the area that we have so it doesn't run off the bank in a corner.
Another thing here is, unlike most of the sites that we build on that have a bunch of backfill like this, we can build on this backfill because this guy, Brock, the homeowner, has a heavy construction company, or heavy equipment, and he's been up here for like a month with a geo-engineer, like a soil engineer, building this up in lifts and compacting it with this sheep's foot roller so that it's like original soil or good to build on. So that's really nice. Most of the time, you can only build on a site like this, like from here back, and the rest of that fill is just unusable for building on. I don't know if you can see this vibrating on the camera because of the frame rate, but it sounds crazy and it feels really crazy. Like the whole ground has got an earthquake going on right here. We're gonna start with this very front deck and try to pull that width and keep it all on flat here. That way we don't have any corner of this sticking off the edge, hopefully. And this is just a preliminary. We're not doing this precise, but we just need to know, like, is the site generally the right size or not? If I'm correct, this is all basement level, and we're gonna build a basement just up out of the ground here, and then he's gonna take some of this dirt back here, and we may even get into that a little bit and backfill around the basement level.
This is gonna be a first for us, building a basement out on a flat site and then adding the backfill.
Yeah, but he obviously can do it.
It makes a lot of sense though in this situation, because you don't wanna spend tons of time and therefore money and fuel compacting dirt that you're gonna excavate out for the basement, right? So we're just gonna bring it up from this level. And we stopped at this level just because this is where he ran out of dirt. You know, he was getting his dirt from over here. He got to the place where he was done. This is the level we ended up with. So right now is the time to just evaluate if this is even gonna work at this level.
Yeah, what he said.
He just got off a cruise ship last night. How you doing?
I'm like this, so I'm like,
So this is pretty low tech. We're just using 2 tapes to basically pull a diagonal and get these corners. A lot of jobs that are bigger, like commercial, they'll use a surveying crew that uses GPS to do this. And we've used the GeoMax system that had a similar setup. It does make it easier.
We're not even halfway through staking out just the rough corners. We're not even talking about doing like all the decks or anything. And what I'm realizing is that there are so many corners. When I get to a point to where we run off the bank and I realize we have to move it, we basically have to scrap everything.
So maybe you should
5 feet.
Pick just the important corners first.
Well, that is what I'm doing. I can tell you there's never been a house we've built that had this many corners in it.
Yeah.
Ever, never.
So with it laid out here, Brock's gonna have to take out like a 20 by 12 chunk of that bank which I thought would be a huge problem, but he said it's like 45 minutes with this giant machine he's got.
He's up there measuring the width of his road. He actually has to have a road that goes past his site to the rest of his property up there.
Yeah.
He's got some stuff up there, so.
12 foot wide or something?
Yeah.
You don't think that's too close to your property line up here?
No, sir, we're good to go.
He doesn't want to brag, but it's like 300 acres. That was a joke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this marking paint and mark the outline because it does look just like a bunch of pins in the ground right now, so that his wife Alexis can look at it, and also so that I can mark the excavation where he needs to dig up this hill. So I'm gonna see if I can Billy Goat up there and do this.
He's gonna be useless the rest of the day.
Where Ray's standing there. Hey, wave your hands, Ray. That's the garage going in that way, but that will be on the upper level, which will be about probably 8 or 10 feet below where I'm standing. They're gonna cut this out and push it around the basement level. So it's still a long way from being what it's gonna be. We're gonna have to redo all this. What we're gonna do is put a couple pins way outside of what we got here and note that on the plan how far outside so we can get this back exactly where we just did it later. It's been a few weeks, but we're back on site at our project this morning. The homeowner, who is an excavator as well, has taken this huge notch out of the bank that we marked previously so that the home can go in. And now he's taken this whole site down to grade. It was about 2 feet higher down there than right here, even though it looked flat. We're gonna make it dead flat. And we got a new face here. Max Rogers. I didn't prepare him or anything for this. He goes to Western Carolina. He's a friend of the family, and he's gonna intern this summer. And I'm not gonna make you say anything just yet. So there he is, and we're gonna get going. That's the weirdest horn. What are you doing? Do you know how to do this?
Nope. He said there's a lever I gotta flip up. There's 1, 2, and then turn the key.
I'm gonna back up. Brock, you just made his life right then, letting him drive that thing 10 feet.
See, he'll be happy. We may hire him on before this is all over with.
Our plan this morning is to get our structure completely laid out and squared up on this site as soon as Brock gets done leveling. And to do that, we need a bunch of diagonals. So Jamie has sketched up a relatively scaled drawing here so we don't mark up our big plans. And he's, in SketchUp, done all of these diagonals on his computer. We're gonna mark them out on here so we have everything we need. So in SketchUp, Jamie drew like the slab outline, a separate footing drawing, and it has some widened areas you can see for extra support and loaded points, and then a one that has like a slab and a wall, and that was so we could figure out what this was going to be like. It's hard to figure it out unless you got something better than a flat set of plans sometimes.
It is, and I had to send some drawings to the guy that's going to provide the forms for the concrete walls.
Yeah.
And we're actually changing how much of the exterior wall is concrete and what will be daylight framing. And so the plan basically wasn't accurate for that reason. So I had to make a drawing and dimension it for him to use for that. This one is 65 foot, 10, 5/16.
Okay. Today's video is brought to you by HOUZZ PRO, and HOUZZ PRO is an all-in-one business solution for builders, contractors, remodelers, and designers. It has a lot of great features to make your life easier if you're one of those. I've been using the takeoffs tool on this current job because it's a big job. It's helping me get the quantities correct really quickly and easily. But today we're gonna check out HOUZZ PRO selections. If you've ever built a house, you have to select or choose so many different products, finishes, fixtures, and this is really an amazing way for you and the client to brainstorm, select, approve, track, and budget on all of these items. To get started, you just create a selections board from the HOUZZ PRO menu, and you can also organize these selections board into sections, like lighting, flooring, or any other category, so you can keep it all organized. Then you can use the HOUZZ PRO Clipper tool to expedite getting information from a website about the products you want into HOUZZ PRO. You can also add products through your selections library in HOUZZ PRO. Each item in the selections board has a menu for overview, a link directly to the product, and a chat board for each individual product in your selection board so you and the client can communicate directly about it. You can also set a budget so the client can see how much is getting eaten out of the budget by each one of the products that they're choosing, and then you can publish the entire board to the client dashboard so they can take a look at it quick and easy. I also want to mention there's a tracking feature with the selections that will allow you to have a list of all the selections, and you can tell whether they've been approved or not by the client, if they're ordered, when they're coming, and pretty much anything about all of the selections that you have right in one spot. For a contractor like myself who works with a lot of clients that aren't in town especially, this is a great way to keep track of and pick all of the different things you need in your hands to physically build the house without a huge hassle and without forgetting what the client has told you, which I've done so many times. I'm sorry, clients, that I've forgotten what you've told me. This is a great way to keep records of everything and make sure everything flows smoothly. You can try HOUZZ PRO yourself for free by clicking the link in our video description below the video or calling the phone number down there. Thank you, HOUZZ PRO, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to work. I think we're good to go here. I got my belt on because when we did this initially, I spent most of the time just looking for my hammer. I kept setting it down. And I did get some extra long 165 foot.
What?
Those long diagonals. And we got that one. Nope. Nope. Ray's just brought something to my attention here on this tape that I bought for like $10. It says the tape measure cannot be relied on to provide precise measurements.
How do you sell a tape measure and put that on it?
I bought it at Harbor Freight. I was in there looking for something else and I bought a whole cart full of stuff. That was one of the things. Look, this made a nice plan weight, so that was still a good buy. We're gonna start by pulling this string line back between the reference pins that we left on the original trip when we came out and laid this out. This was the right edge of the left portion of the building, and that'll get us right back in line from where we did it originally. If you got stakes, both of y'all get long tapes, and I'll try to coordinate the rest of it.
All right.
To get going, we're marking out just one half of the structure using our diagonals and straight measurements together to make sure the structure is square and the right dimensions. Then we're double checking the dimension we use the diagonals on to see if it's the right length. Max has got the plans on his phone and he's double checking us.
6411 3/16. Okay.
We decided it was too much trouble to carry that big set of plans around. We might need to invest in some tablets. So we've got this half, just the basic square marked out. Now we're gonna jump up to this point, over and try to get this basic square marked out the right distance away, and then we'll work on these bump outs and stuff. We're figuring the easiest way to get this line established is just to jump out here and put some points outside of the building and just get a straight line to start with. So that's what they're doing. We're gonna jump out the length here, and then again, way down there past the end of the house.
To mark out the foundation right here for the footings, we're using these aluminum poles. These are actually part of a handrail I tore off my house.
Like a baluster.
Yeah, and you know, they're like 3/4 diameter, so that is, you know, enough that could make a difference in our measurements, you know?
Yeah, whether you hook one side or butt the other or whatever.
It is, but for the purpose of what we're doing right now, it's accurate enough.
Okay.
I believe, because I have a lot of them, and even if we used a piece of wood, it would be at least this big. So it's gonna work. You'd have to do something super small to be super precise.
Yeah, we'll use nails on the footing once it's concrete, and then that's more precise, like a singular point.
I think our degree of accuracy can be within about 1 inch right now. I think that's a tolerable amount to be off by, considering that the footing is 2 feet wide and 3 feet wide in some places, and there's about 7 to 8 inches of footing outside of the wall on either side. So that's how much room if we really got messed up, but you don't want that. You got to stay centered in that footing as best as you can.
You going fishing later or what?
You like that? I got this at the beach. No, I got it to go boogie boarding with my kids.
Okay.
And it was great because it stayed on my head.
This footprint is just about complex enough where it would be nice to have a surveyor do it, but since it's all on flat ground, we can do it. If this was off a hillside like the last job, this would be near impossible to do using string lines and tapes like we're doing. We've got all the numbers on this line marked, and to prevent accumulative error, right?
Yes.
We're gonna put another...
A cumulative or a cumulative?
2 words, a cumulative. We're gonna pull from our original straight line and make a third straight line on the far edge there, and that's the other side of this structure. You cutting a foot? Okay, so 31, 5, and 9/16. Yep, right there. And then we'll check our straight number. All right, Jono, let's check our straight number, see if we got 28. Are you cutting a foot? Yeah. What? 28. Wah, wah, wah. I don't think he noticed there's a foot missing. Okay, 30. Oh, I didn't add a foot here. He cut a foot, I didn't add a foot.
Yo, will you take this from him?
All right, try again. 31, 5, and 9. Outside. Yep. All right, Jono. All right, we're 29 foot half. So, a little bit of that action.
Now, it looks like we didn't do anything here that means anything right now, but I can tell you we're almost done with the bulk of it. I want to check the longest, biggest diagonal from corner to corner, and it's literally like 100 feet, 98 feet and something.
The longest, biggest, baddest, strongest diagonal ever on Earth. $98, 9 and an 8. Oh my God! Yes! Woo! Yeah!
You couldn't have got it more daddier nuttier than that right there. I cannot believe that. That's like impossible.
Is that a word, daddy nuttier?
Dead.
Oh, dead? No, I thought you said daddy nuttier. I was like,
Where'd your shirt go?
oh, it's over there. Dude, look, it's gorgeous out here. I gotta get some sun.
All of our big diagonals we're pulling or checking out is okay, but just to double check that, what are we gonna do?
I think we should go by the blueprint and check each line dimension around the perimeter, because if we made any errors in the drawing that I made, which we're basing our diagonals off of, they would show up right now if we did this.
Okay. I climbed up the bank here just to check out the house from up top, and it is huge. It's actually a little intimidating even for us to look at how big, how far it is across each direction. Hey, I feel like we might need some comm on this job, like some radios.
Over.
It's like 150 feet from one side to the other.
You got bottle caps in your fingers.
We're learning new things at lunch today that I never knew in my life. Like Ray thinks we're all idiots for wearing socks that stick up. See his socks, how they don't even stick up? He's got his ankle tan going. He thinks we're all idiots for wearing socks with tennis shoes.
He literally called us idiots.
Yeah, he literally...
It was a joke.
How about if I do this?
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
I think we have all the bump outs except for this fireplace, and I think we're gonna omit the footing there because we're just gonna do a wood frame and do some kind of veneer stone on it. It's not gonna be a full masonry, which would need like a full footing to support the weight. So at this point, we may just frame that on this slab that's in the courtyard. I think that's a wrap for today. We got the entire foundation laid out and staked out, and we're not gonna start digging, even though it's only about 2 o'clock here, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and so we don't wanna open up part of this and have the footings just fill with water and then have the bottom become muck, because then it's soft. So we're gonna wait till Monday, even though I'm dying to just like start digging this thing. We're gonna do the smart thing and just wait till Monday. Thanks for building with us. We'll see you then.